What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Real Ones Canes podcast. That dude over there is Cam. What's up? Underwood. You can follow Cam at Underwood Sports.
Come on, man. It's Martin.
I know.
What's up?
Yeah. I got it. But, I want to go back to the commercial. Anyways. I am the Beast, Brian London. You can follow me at Miami Radio Beast. Cam is the managing editor at StateofTheU. Go check it out, StateofTheU.com. It's unbelievable. It's amazing. It's free. It's open 24/7, 365. It has amazing coverage of the Miami Hurricanes. It's got everything you need. Go check it out right now, StateofTheU.com. Cam, we are a few days removed from the Syracuse game. We are recording this Wednesday afternoon, hump day. And after thinking back about the game, a couple of things that I wanted to bring up. One was Malichi Toney. Other teams are definitely trying to not let him beat them, at least as a receiver catching the football. They have not yet to figure out how to stop him from throwing the football and or running the football. But they do not want him to catch the football. And with CJ Daniels out, it is important for other guys to step up. And we saw Marion step up. We've seen other guys step up, but I'm guessing that's going to be something that's going to need to continue as the season progresses.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that if there's any explosion coming from the Miami offense, it's coming from number 10, Malichi Toney. And last week, he did have the one, touchdown pass to Carson Beck for 14 yards. He ran the ball 3 times for 14 yards, so it's 28 total yards, and had 2 catches for 12, so 40 total yards on all of the things. So, yeah, teams know you got to take away number 10. Bracking him, I mean, you saw it on the last offensive play at SMU. They were kind of bracketing the whip route, when they tackled and dry humped Jojo Trader in the end of the zone and had no call.
Yeah.
But they know that they're trying to take him away. And you need guys to step up. Shout out to Keelan Marion for having his best game as a receiver. Shout out to Dalen Upshaw, a true freshman who, was ready when his number was called. Actually, not even his number because he's number 13 and popped up with number 15 during the game. And we're all like, wait, that's who that is. And that's not his number. Que pasa? Who knows? But yeah, so just guys need to be ready for their moment. And it's really, really a game of inches. The first play of the game was a touchdown for Malichi Toney, but the defensive lineman lost his rep on pass rush so bad, he just said, I'm just going to jump and I'm going to put a hand up and hope. And it got a finger on that ball.
Right.
And it was, they were playing man free, and it was, Malichi Toney on Wednesday evening is still running on that play had that defensive lineman not gotten a finger on the ball. So, yeah, they did get lucky. Syracuse did on that play, and then they did a decent job taking him away. And, yeah, everybody else is going to need to step up. Shout out to the guys who did it last week. Hopefully, we get CJ Daniels back this week. That's something that Mario Cristobal intimated on the Joe Road show. Nobody asked him about injuries on the Monday presser, so we don't get anything until tomorrow from the injury report.
Listen, man, wait. When it comes to injuries, I trust nothing.
I trust nothing either.
I don't care what he says. I don't care what's in the injury report. Until you and I are sitting next to each other and they kick the ball off, I will not have any idea about who is playing in the game. We have no idea.
True. I'm just saying it was mentioned by the head coach of the program that is possible. So I wanted to put it on the radar. Sure, I'm not counting CJ Daniels back.
I can't wait.
But my point is, if he's back, he joins the cadre of players that will have to be positive impact players in the passing game specifically to augment whatever Malichi Toney is giving. Because, teams – there was a play – the Jojo Trader – horrible, terrible, no good, very bad drop, right? On that crossing route.
Yes.
And people, when I said the incompletion and the drop, people immediately were tweeting to me, and I love that there's so much interaction on Twitter since people don't have, Disney on their YouTube TV anymore. So many people were like, man, you got to find a way to get the ball to Malichi Toney. They ran it was the similar scheme for Toney. They had other things around it, but that little short inside motion to the big post, the one that he hit against Florida State, and then they threw a couple other times, they ran that. There were 3 defenders bracketing him. There was a linebacker, a corner, and then the safety of that side said, cool, we're not letting this kid beat us. So, yeah, it is incumbent upon everybody else to step up. We saw some of that on Saturday, and hopefully that continues.
All right, so one thing on Jojo Trader. So, there's always that one guy where the fans are absolutely obsessed with one kid. And this year, it is Jojo Trader. The fans are obsessed with him. And listen, kid came in with all the talent in the world. I get it. I understand. I totally. But so there was one play where he looked like he was completely not in the right place. The ball was not thrown in the right place. Evidently, we all speculated in the press box. Evidently, he was possibly held on that play, what have you. But it wasn't a one-play situation for JoJo that brought me to the conclusion that maybe we need to try someone else, which is why we saw Upshaw in the game at some point, why we saw Josh Moore in the game at some point, while other guys were getting reps. Because, and here's what I'll also say about JoJo. Anything that we are telling you about Jojo Trader and why he is or is not playing has nothing to do with one route or something that Mario said in a press conference or anything like that. It is.
Move your hand.
It is sorry about that. I like to hold my mustache. It is information gathered through various means, right? From various places.
Yeah.
So
all of this is true.
Like, don't think that we see one play and be like, "Oh no, that guy can't play." No, there's nothing to do. That is not how it works at all.
And I know people are going to say, "But wait, Beast." On this here podcast, but a week and a half ago, Cam threw JoJo under the bus and drove over and reversed and he felt all of the wheels of that bus repeatedly for that play. Yes, that was very, very critical feedback on that one play. But no, there's been a wealth of instances and things that go into what we're saying. I will also, however, give credit on both trick play touchdowns when they needed someone at wide receiver to go block. Number 1 Josiah Trader was on the field, leading the way for Carson Beck on one side and Francis Mauinoa on the other side. And he did a great job in run blocking. He actually rebounded after that first drop and made a couple nice plays. So I'm going to, give praise where it is due for him. But yeah, some of the detail stuff needs to tighten up. But it's not, I'm not throwing out the baby with the bathwater. I'm not saying it's all bad because it's not. Just the bad things have been so newsworthy. It's like it. I mean, to use a musical analogy, because I'm a musician and I taught music for 20 years.
Yeah, man.
It doesn't really matter if you kind of sort of miss a note if you're in the background of the scene. But I'm front stage, I'm downstage center, spotlight on me with a solo, and I'm singing wrong notes and words. Bam, we're gonna know it. And it just so happens that JoJo has gotten these spotlight moments. And they've not.
But by the way, if you are not playing your instrument well behind the scenes or singing well in the chorus behind the scenes, maybe the audience won't know it.
That part, exactly.
But guess who does?
Coach,
or the
director,
whoever is in charge. Yes.
Oh yeah. Hey, there were plenty of times where.
And listen, if you're not singing well in rehearsal, if you're not, if you're not playing well in rehearsal, in my case, playing the drums, people know. The audience may not know. They're not at rehearsal.
Look,
right?
There were plenty of times when I taught. I had section leaders come to me and say, "Hey, they can't be on stage for districts or states or whatever. They They've not been coming to school. They don't know the music. They can't do it. Player, a singer-led group, player-led team, same kind of a thing. So yeah, Jojo Trader has had all of these spotlight moments, these center stage, solo, defying gravity moments, and the ball has actually gone with gravity to the ground or to the other team. So yeah, I'm not going to make, we exaggerate for comedic effect, but you get the point. There have been the failings of Jojo Trader in these big moments have been noteworthy, and I need him to make some of those plays in a positive way. Now, he did have the switch route touchdown at SMU. That was great, but then you know what I mean? It's just like there's been more failures in spotlight moments than successes for JoJo, which maybe he's not ready for prime time. Maybe he's built for being a role player and not a star player right now. And maybe we need to adjust the rotation as such to give other guys a chance to step into the rotation as role players. And I think that we've seen that. And then we will continue to do that and hopefully not have a random, hangnail break up a touchdown pass to Malichi Toney like happened against Syracuse.
Yeah, I would agree with all that. And by the way, I do want to, listen, I was told by several people that he was a great run blocker. We've seen him be a great run blocker. Yep. It's important that he's a good run blocker. I'm glad they trust him out there to be a good run blocker. Yep. So we'll take that. Maybe that doesn't show up in the stats, but it's definitely very crucial to the way this offense runs. Speaking of run blocking, by the way, that actually segues to the next thing I wanted to talk about real quick. In monitoring the press conferences, the press availabilities for all the players this week, one of the topics was Miami's run game and how it's maybe not as successful as it was last year. Is there something different with the run blocking? Is there something off? The yards per carry are not the same. And I think that we would have to agree that's probably something that we've noticed. And I'm wondering, ball better than I do. Is there something you've noticed or picked up on that you think has changed?
I mean, this is going to be a Captain Obvious moment. This is exactly what we all meant when we pointed out the offense was going to look differently because Cameron Jarrell Ward is in the NFL as the number 1 draft pick, and then Carson Beck is playing quarterback this year. Teams are going to defend this team differently. And that means they're going to allocate different people towards the run game that they could not last year. Like there was just space, even on your dive, your inside zone, on your duo, whatever it was. I mean, Damian Martinez didn't run outside ever. And still 5.5 yards a carry. Big Mark Fletcher eating up the middle, right? Yeah. But you had lighter boxes because you had Cam Ward, the bomb squad, baby. If you thought about taking a half a step towards the box,
bye-bye.
Omaha, blur. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it is holistically a different team because that's the impact of changing from a Cam Ward to a Carson Beck. And when you have more guys going towards the box, you have more of a plodding offense, right? It's much more at a walking pace. Actually, our offensive tempo, we've slowed it down even from what it was last year. But you do that, and it was balanced because we could hit you for 50, 60, 70 yards at any time. Think about Elijah Arroyo's touchdown, the first one at Georgia Tech last year on the 4 verts with the switch to the field side where the ball caught him. You said, oh, shoot. Okay, cool. Gone. Bye. I know that we had a similar play to Keelan Marion against Syracuse, right? Because they brought a blitz from the boundary. We hit it in that gap or in between the defenders, Bob's your uncle. Cool. How many of those have we had this year? One? Like that one? You know what I mean? So when you're not stretching the field, we are stretching the field horizontally with the quick throw, the now screen game to augment the running game and everything. We are not stretching the field vertically. We're stretching it into the short and intermediate passing zones. We rarely throw it more than 15, 20 yards. I mean, going vertical, which again, Cam Ward and the bomb squad, they did that all the time. And without that in the offense, it fundamentally changes the structure of the offense and fundamentally changes how other teams will defend it. So that whole soliloquy says, basically, we're not taking the top off of the defense to keep the safeties back. And without that, they're adding into the box. They're adding into the numbers of the run game. And that's why you're seeing Miami have a full yard and a half less per carry than last year, because you have another full body or body and a half to two in the box crashing down. And, in short yardage, we keep running the same plays. And when we run them in short yardage, being power or duo or whatever, somebody misses a block. So you put all that together, and that's what it is. There's just more guys in the box, and that changes the numbers.
Yeah, it's again, this year an awful lot. It's looked like there's Mark Fletcher running into like 27 guys, just beating his head against a wall. And
it's great when the offensive line is there helping push, but we have to help push all these times because there's more dudes there.
Yeah, correct. All right. The CFP rankings came down. We're doing this on Wednesday afternoon, so yesterday in our world. Miami moved up 3 spots. And you know what? I didn't even watch the show, to be honest with you. I didn't even pay attention. The only reason I found out about it is because I was on Twitter looking for other stuff, and I happened to see a tweet go by. I just don't – I'm not going to worry about it because Miami needs to win out, and then I'll care. Basically at that point. Like if Miami wins out, then I'll start to care. There is a chance that the ACC does not get a team into the CFP. What are you shaking your head? What? Okay.
There is not a chance.
Well,
there's not a chance. There's not a chance.
There is a way that it can
There's
happen.
a way. It's not there. No.
Okay, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. The ACC is not automatically guaranteed a spot in the CFP. It is the top 4 ranked conference champions. So if a group of 5 champion is ranked above Duke if they win it, then the ACC champion would not go to the CFP. Now, Miami could get in as a at-large bid, but the ACC champion would not go if that was the case.
Yeah, I mean, those are different conversations.
Yes.
I don't think that there's a world in which the ACC does not get a team into the college football playoff. I just don't see that. There's not. No, and I know that the committee is clearly signaling. I mean, after last week, not even that the Big 12 and the ACC are on level footing. It is the ACC is far and away the number 4 conference in their eyes. It's Big 10, SEC, 1 and 1A, gap, Big 12 gap, ACC by the committee's ranking, by what they are signaling. So yeah, it is an uphill journey and battle, for anybody. But yeah, it is incumbent upon the University of Miami to win their games. I've been saying it ever since Carson Beck decided that he wanted to throw the ball to Louisville for God. And then we lost to SMU after I'd already said they need to win all the rest of their games. So what are we doing? There is a path for Miami to the college football playoff. There's also, so the path to the college football playoff needs help, but the first part of that help is helping yourself and winning your games. There's also, as well, in addition, a path for Miami to the ACC championship game still. That needs even more help than to get to the college football playoff. But that also is built on the first fact of Miami needs to win all of their remaining games. Period.com, end of story. So, yeah, that's all that we can really do now. Focus on ourselves. Shannon Dawson was talking on Monday and said, I wanted the team to go out and have fun on offense and, focus on the process and not the result of, oh my God, if I mess up this play and we don't make it to playoff or we don't da-da-da-da. It's a little infuriating that, it gets to 2 losses that should not have happened objectively for that to come to the forefront. But whatever. Go win your games and things will work themselves out. It is still asinine that Notre Dame is 6 spots ahead of Miami at number 9 to Miami's number 15. I would have an argument. I would be very, very, very strongly upset if I was a Georgia Tech fan after their first loss of the year, sliding behind Miami at number 16 in the projection. So as of Tuesday's projection, as the highest presently rated or ranked team in the conference, Miami is in the projected bracket if the playoffs were to start today at number 11, traveling on the road to number 6, Texas Tech. But again, this is all hypotheticals for now. We have to go win our games.
By the way,
we have to go win our games.
Yeah, for sure. So we're in our fields because Notre Dame is ranked ahead of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Notre Dame people are so unhappy because the ACC keeps promoting Miami all over their socials, and Notre Dame's like, wait a minute, we're kind of in the ACC.
You're not.
Kind of.
No, shut up.
And you have a relationship with us, and in all the other sports from the ACC. So why are you dunking on us?
I hate Notre Dame.
I mean, I do too.
Hate Notre Dame.
I do too.
And like, this is just emblematic of their holier than thou mentality of like, they're just, self-created exceptionalism, which if you were so exceptional, then you would have beaten Miami. If everything that you're espousing is true, then you would have won, but you didn't. And honestly, I was having this conversation with buddy of ours in the press box who sits behind us in the third row. This, like, Miami letting Notre Dame off the hook and making that on the scoreboard a close game, this is allowing people to relitigate that game as, oh, it was close all the way and it was a one-score game and they only lost by 3 and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We whipped their ass from front to back, top to bottom. That was a blowout game. That wasn't close, but you miss a play here, you miss a play there, you let a tight end wide open for 65 yards to the play before a touchdown, let them back in the ball game. So now, 2.5 months later, if I just look on paper, it says, well, that's a close game. And it was not. That was a butt whooping of epic proportions, but the scoreboard didn't show it. So the narrative fades over time, especially when everybody in the media is pushing the pro Notre Dame portion of that narrative.
All right, we're going to take a break. On the other side, a couple things I would like to get to. We're going to talk about penalties for a moment. There's a conspiracy theory out there, so we'll have to touch on that. I don't think it's even a conspiracy theory. It's objectively supported by numbers, but let's do that. Okay, we'll do that. I just want to real quick, we'll get a recruiting update because there was some commits this week. And then we'll talk about the game against NC State. NC State, who is coming to town with a guy that will be back in his hometown, and CJ Bailey, their quarterback. And how did he get out of Miami? Another one that confuses me. Oh, and Miami might need a nickelback. That and more coming your way on the other side. You're listening and watching the Real Ones Canes podcast. Welcome back. It's the Real Ones Canes podcast. He's Cam Underwood. Follow him on Twitter at Underwood Sports. You can read some great work that he does and his staff at StateofTheU.com. Cam is the managing editor of State of the U. They do great work. A lot of great articles up there right now. Go check it out when you're done listening or watching us. StateofTheU.com. I'm Brian the Beast London. Follow me at Miami Radio Beast. Cam, there's a kind of conspiracy theory out there.
Not a conspiracy.
Okay, well, let's get into it. That a certain referee, when his crew...
Excuse me. Okay, I was going on. Okay, we're going micro, not macro.
Well, there's
the macro thing, but the micro. Okay, I hear you. I'm sorry.
Well, then you know what? Let's start macro. Then. Okay, so give us the macro, then I'll get into the micro.
The macro is basically that Miami is penalized more than their opponent, and it's a very disparate number. I think it's 33 more times this year. And basically, it's just the history of people remembering that Miami were the bad boys of college football, remembering back to the 91 Cotton Bowl where we had, all those penalties against Texas, and it being a self-confirming bias. So anytime that you see anything, basically, you err on the side of Miami are committing a penalty, whereas you see the same thing from other teams and you err on the side of, well, no, they wouldn't do that, even though these 30-something years later. So basically, yeah, there's just an inherent bias in referees that anything that Miami does is always going to be a penalty and the same action by other teams is not. So that's your macro level view of what the issue is and why Miami is being penalized at such a higher rate. I mean, almost double that of their opponents.
So the micro view,
move your hand,
is that I do it again, but thank you. There's a referee named Jerry Magallanes, okay, Magallanes. And it seems that the couple of times that he has officiated Miami games this year, those are the two games where they have the most penalties called against them, and the opponent doesn't. Now, so that's that. There's numbers to prove that, right? Like that. So he did the Florida State game; they got called for 13 penalties. He did the SMU game; they got called for 12 penalties. Okay, so numerically, I can point to the two most penalties that Miami was called for this year. Jerry Magallanes called the game. Now, on the other side of things, those that aren't buying that will tell you, well, he also refereed the Virginia Tech Miami game last year, and the 2015 Miami Duke lateral bonanza to end the football game on the final kickoff.
Oh, the game in which they called an ACC record 23 penalties against Miami, and they were so malfeasant in their officiating that whole crew got suspended for a month without pay? That game?
Okay. It would be that game, yes.
Cool.
So, I give you the conspiracy that Jerry Magallanes does not like the University of Miami. Is that a possible thing? Are people crazy?
It is a possible thing. We've seen it in other sports. Scott Foster in the NBA having a 1-year feud with Chris Paul as an individual and teams in general. P.S. I just looked it up while Beast was talking. Miami had 25 penalties in the two games that Magallanes called. SMU had 4 and Florida State had 5, so it was 25-9.
Correct.
So almost a 3-to-1 ratio.
That is correct.
That is verified. Go look it up, right? You cannot controvert those numbers. So then you want to go to all these other things. The Virginia Tech game, the call at the end of the game was right. It was right in front of us in the press box.
Yep.
Objectively, I saw Isaiah Horton have the ball after it was on the ground at the end of the game. But nowhere in there did the Virginia Tech receiver have it. I know that people want to be mad about that. Tough cookies. That was the right call. But then when you go, okay, all these other times, and then especially they officiated that game with the return, which was such crap. I mean, they did everything in their power to help Duke win. Thomas Sirk did not score on the final drive. They called that a touchdown. They called multiple pass interferences on the last drive. Phantom each and every one against Artie Burns playing 3 days after his mother died. And Corn Elder. They called 3 in that final drive alone when the guys are like basically playing defense like this because you need to see my hands because I didn't touch him, coach. Cool. Flag. No, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. And it is not crazy to then go back and look up the numbers of penalties in games against Miami that this guy has called because, again, this is public record information knowledge, and then you see it over the course of time. And, yeah, we've seen these kind of grudges and things go in other sports, whether it's Scott Foster, whether it's Teddy Valentine in college basketball, TV Teddy, who always wants to be on, make himself the star, whether it was Joey Crawford before in the NBA, whether it was Angel Hernandez in MLB. We can name the names of guys who are infamous for, I don't want to go super duper duper out of bounds with what
questionable.
I was but I think it's more than that, but a pattern of uneven calls against a certain team over the course of time. And, okay, this Magallanes guy, again, I didn't bring this to you. I didn't even really – I saw it when the person tweeted it. But, look, again, this is history. You can go back and look this stuff up. So, no, it's not crazy to think that. So it will be very interesting on Saturday to see how the game goes, especially because he's already officiated this team twice, and we've seen, like, Miami's had 9 penalties in a couple of games. But there's
Wait-
two
wait a
games that
minute.
we've
Time
had double digits, and it's on his watch, brother.
Do we know who the official is for Saturday's game?
Didn't they say that he was going to be officiating this game? Was
I
that
don't.
not part of the?
I don't know. I haven't seen that.
Sorry.
But if you know that, that's one
No.
thing. I don't think it's been announced yet.
Oh, okay. I apologize. Then I was conflating what I saw on the timeline versus something that I saw in a group chat text, and so that's my bad. That's my bad. I apologize. I don't know who's calling the game. I thought that was a thing that was out there. That's me. I'm wrong. Sorry.
You're okay. Everything is okay. See, I try not to buy into these things, but there's numbers. Like there's numbers there. I just don't. I don't know.
Right, and that's the thing. Like I get why I try not to do it. Also, like I had so many people saying that I was just a crybaby hater, talking about officials all the time. That's why I don't really talk about officials when I do game evaluation now. You know what I mean? So I hear you. I don't want to look at that, but again, the numbers are the numbers. 25 penalties to 9 in the 2 games that this guy has officiated, and his crew got suspended for a month for improper, job performance. And I know people say, "Oh, well, it was just for the review of the return." No, an ACC record number of penalties against Miami. A bunch of them were totally fictitious of the mind of the officiating crew. I didn't make that up, guys.
Yeah, it's something to keep a track of. We'll see if he ends up doing another Miami game this year. Hopefully not. Hopefully never, ever again. Hopefully,
hopefully never again would be too soon.
What does Jerry do? Jerry is he's in sales and management. He's got a demonstrated history of working in the facilities and services industry.
Cool.
He's skilled in negotiation, management, contract negotiation, leadership, and customer service. He's a strong sales professional. He did graduate from Hofstra University. Lives in the Philadelphia area.
Good.
I'm not going to give out more information than that because I don't want to be that guy. But just in case you wanted to know his qualifications.
207. Sorry.
Okay, let's move along here. There was a couple of recruiting news and notes this week with some commits. I tend to not pay attention to these things because, I don't really keep track of these things until they end up on campus or until, we're in the press box and I'm like, hey, how come that guy that's balling out for the other team didn't come here? As we will get to in a segment. Yeah.
Yeah. 3 commits this week, all of them flips or recent flips. So first, JJ Dunnigan, a 6'2", 6'3", All-American safety from Manhattan, Kansas. Remembering everybody, juniors are the ones who play in All-American games mostly now because most seniors early enroll. So he played in the Under Armour All-American game last year. He was formerly committed to Kansas, the home state school, even though he's from Manhattan, Kansas, which is where K-State is.
Yeah.
His dad played college ball at Michigan, I do believe. So JJ Dunnigan has committed to the Miami Hurricanes to join the growing secondary class. So that's the first one. He's probably the one that I'm most excited about of this group. Big, strong, athletic, tall. I'm really excited to see him as a multifaceted safety. A guy who's run sub 11 in the 100 at 6'2", 6'3", almost 200 pounds. That'll work. DeAnthony Lafayette from Orlando, Lake Nona High School. He is the second commit. He plays running back and defensive end in high school. He is the state leading sack artist at the 7A level. So we have the top 2 sack guys at 7A. So one of the larger, I think it is now the largest, second largest classification in Florida football with DeAnthony Lafayette and Ashari Charles from Venice. Formerly committed to LSU, just decommitted from LSU 2 days ago, and then committed to Miami yesterday. He's very, very athletic. I am not with the majority on DeAnthony Lafayette. I've seen Miami try to take undersized edge rushers far too often and it not work. And he's another one of them. Like I said, he's 6'1", 230, edge rusher, running back guy. I know that he has athleticism, but I've seen this movie too often. And, it's interesting how things are put forth when, announcements come out because like Gabby Urrutia, a good friend from the Inside the U, Inside the U, the 247 site, in the commitment tweet was like, oh yeah, he has an 82-inch wingspan. When have we ever talked about wingspan with the football commit? Ever?
Nope.
Never, right? But when you get a 6'1" guy, and you're trying to say, okay, well, there's this thing, and I'm in the minority on him. I don't know that it's going to translate to the college level. I really don't. There's a picture of him committing, standing next to Mario Cristobal. Mario Cristobal is several inches taller than DeAnthony Lafayette, and the guy who's supposed to play edge and stay at edge. This is not a guy that we're bringing in to transition to linebacker. I personally don't see it. But hey, I've been wrong before, and DeAnthony Lafayette, I openly invite you to prove me wrong and play to a level that very few players of your size do at that position specifically. But hey, we'll see. But he's another 4-star blue chip guy from the state of Florida, was committed to LSU. And I'm not a professional football coach. I know that I've been blogging about recruiting for years, and I've gotten some wrong, and maybe this is another one that I get wrong. But yeah, I have questions personally about DeAnthony Lafayette, just from a size standpoint. And I have watched the film for everybody saying, oh, we'll just leave it. I have. So there. Lastly, Isaac Chukwura from Bear, Delaware, just outside of the Philadelphia area, is the latest player to commit to Miami, formerly a Penn State commit, about 6'2", 6'3", 265. He does play outside in high school, but he's definitely a defensive tackle here. Excuse me. So think of somebody in the same trajectory physically and skill-wise as like an Ahmad Moten Sr., or other guys before him. But yeah, in that 6'2", 6'3", 260, 65 range, add a little weight, add a little strength, and improve and move inside full time. That's what we're going to do with him. Again, getting him from Penn State, a team that is well known for recruiting identifying and then developing interior defensive linemen. This is definitely a good get. For me, of these three, I would rank my excitement for them Dunnigan 1, Chukwura 2, and Lafayette 3, just because, I'm comfortable being the black sheep here. I know that everybody is just super hype on DeAnthony Lafayette. I've seen too many guys who are that undersized fail at this level that I am skeptical of his level of success. But again, openly, and I am going to root for him. I'm going to cheer for him, and I hope that it works out. I just don't necessarily think that it will. We've seen similar sized guys, even recently, like a Thomas Davis from Georgia, who came down here a few years ago. And you're probably looking like Thomas Davis. Exactly, because it didn't necessarily work out. But 3 more blue chips adding to this class, putting me even further behind on the recruiting notebooks for signing day. Even though I started earlier, I got caught up in some things that I am all the way in the weeds, and I have even more of them to do now. But there you go. So we'll probably get a couple more. There's another flip candidate, or another couple flip candidates that might probably pop in the next week or so here. And those that even is before you get to the real heavyweight flip battles that we're still fighting all the way into Sunday.
All right, let's get to the game. It's Miami. It's NC State, 3:30 on Saturday, Hard Rock Stadium, last home game of the year. So get there. Get to the game. It's senior day, there's a weird feeling, right? Like all of the reporters were asking all sorts of questions about, hey, it's your last game at Hard Rock. And in the past, that used to mean something because they'd been here for 4 or 5 years. Now it's a lot of guys that have been here for not even a year. So it's weird. But still, it's the last game for a bunch of them at Hard Rock Stadium. So it'll be emotional. NC State comes to town. They are led by their quarterback, CJ Bailey, who knows South Florida very well. Again, why did he not end up at Miami?
Because we didn't recruit him.
Okay.
Like we objectively went in a different, or intentionally went in a different direction. This is the player that I mentioned before as part of that group of 5 from Chaminade, being him, Davion Goss, the running back, Jojo Trader, Jeremiah Smith, and Zaquan Patterson. And the other 4 had committable Miami offers and said, hey, if you offer our quarterback, Cedric, that's his name, sorry, Cedric CJ, all 5 of us, including Jeremiah Smith, because they were like underclassmen at the time, said, yeah, if you offer CJ, we'll all come. And then Cristobal's staff basically said, we're not going to be held hostage by the whims of teenagers, and we're going to offer who we want and go after who we want. And your quarterback is not in that cadre. And yeah, we went out of state for someone else, of a similar build in that he's tall and thin-ish, but the guy on our roster, being Judd Anderson, in case anybody's wondering, is more muscular than CJ Bailey, but I think we're saying CJ Bailey is a more skilled player, obviously, because he's starting at a Power 4 school. But yeah, that was Miami's elective choice to not recruit him, and that is why he is somewhere else. Can't catch them all.
CJ Bailey this year, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, a 70.7 completion percentage, thrown for almost 2,500 yards already, a quarterback rating of 158.3. He also runs the football. He has 4 rushing touchdowns. I think he's got 60 rushing attempts and 4 rushing touchdowns. He is a dynamic player. He's 6'6". He's tall. He is skinny, though. But he's tall, and he's an athlete, and he's going to be trouble for Miami. Here we go again. And they've got some playmakers, both at running back and receiver. So, it's going to be another tough game for Miami, and another game where a team is coming in that's well coached. Dave Doran's been as good of a coach, as consistent a coach as there's been in the ACC for a long time. And he gets the job done at a place that's, like 3rd or 4th in the pecking order in that state. So, props to him. But, by the way, I love their running back's name, Hollywood Smothers. Is there any better name than that?
Mark Fletcher Jr.
Well, yes, better as far as production and being like a great back. Yes, but just as far as a name.
Yeah, no, that is a great name. We'll see if that great name will be seen on Saturday, because he missed the last game and he might be injured. Mr. Smothers.
Speaking of injuries, by the way, Miami might have their own injury problem. You talked about CJ Daniels possibly coming back, but a guy we might be missing. The rumors have been out there about Keontae Scott possibly getting nicked up last game, which is why we saw Isaiah Taylor in the game. I don't know. We'll see when the injury report. We're recording this again Wednesday afternoon. It'll come out tomorrow night. We don't know who will be on there, but Keontae Scott's been unbelievable for this team, Cam. Been unbelievable at the nickel position.
Yeah, no, I mean, full stop. Unbelievable. A semifinalist for the Thorpe Award for best defensive back in America. He's, he blitzes. He supports the run game as the apex point rush defender to his side of the field. He plays zone coverage. He plays man coverage. He does it all, like literally all, man. And so, yeah, missing him, if the rumors of his injury are substantiated, is a massive, 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 massive loss. Now, who could play there? I don't know, man. I mean, I think we brought in Charles Brantley from Michigan State, Florida native. I thought the goal was to play him there after the first portal window, but then we promptly went out and got Keontae Scott in the second portal window. So I think that speaks to what they think of Brantley, who was an honorable mention All Big Ten last year and hasn't played a snap this year. You know what I mean?
It's been weird, yeah.
Isaiah Taylor, it's cool that he's Jason Taylor's son, but like a handful of replacement snaps, sure. Like the guy there, methinks not. If OJ Frederick comes back, this is something that Marcus Ball also mentioned is potentially possible. Then maybe you move Xavier Lucas down. Maybe you try Bobby Thomas there and then bring in Bryce Fitzgerald at safety. I don't know, man. But yeah.
I was going to say body type wise, Xavier Lucas fits the bill body type wise. I don't know if he has the same skill set that Keontae Scott has, but just body wise, he might fit there.
But yeah, I mean, more than the body, you need the skills. So whoever it is. Even if you go with a bigger player like a Jacoby Thomas, move him down into that nickel and bring in a Bryce Fitzgerald at safety to pair with Zach Poyser. Maybe you do that. Maybe you rotate guys in there. Maybe you take, Damari Brown, who's, big and rocked up. I mean, he's a big dude, 6'2", 200 something. I mean, he looks like the college version of Antrell Roll, like physically, like not Don't think deep in his career NFL Antrel Roll. Go back and look at Antrel Roll like freshman, sophomore. Like Damari Brown is built darn near the same. Maybe you take him inside and do some of that stuff. And we've seen Damari Brown be a successful blitzer off the edge on the corner cat blitzes that they've run and things like that. But yeah, there are a lot of questions if Keontae Scott is out, because he's been so integral to this defense and the overall structural integrity of the defense, especially, against the run. Missing him would be a very, 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 very big miss if he were to be out. But, who knows? And who even knows if it'll be listed on the Thursday report, because we've seen before where they don't list players on the Thursday report, and then all of a sudden they're either doubtful or out on the Friday report. So,
yeah, it's weird.
We shall see. But, it'll be interesting to see who plays.
By the way, listen, I give props to the NC State offense. They've scored a lot of points. CJ Bailey's great, but they also give up a bunch of sacks. He's been sacked 14 times this year. So if I'm looking at this game, as far as what's important, it's because NC State's defense has given up a bunch of points this year. For me, it's all about Miami's defense being able to contain CJ Bailey, getting him on the ground, sacking him, not letting him make plays either with his arm or his feet. And if you do that, then you're going to stymie their offense, and you should be able to score on their defense, especially on their secondary. This is another game where theoretically Miami should have a big passing game, but we've seen that get off kilter before.
Indeed we have. So, Miami, again, 2 touchdown favorites, which is emblematic of the difference in talent between these teams. But talent doesn't win games, and they're not played on paper. Otherwise, we'd be undefeated. So, hey, it is incumbent again for Miami to come out, to play to the standard, and go win this game. And every other one. But, yeah, you got to – I understand why Miami are 2 touchdown favorites. You have to go put it on the field, plain and simple. So, yeah, we'll see. And definitely, if nobody else gives a care, CJ Bailey is going to be so amped up for this game, as he rightfully should be. So, we have to go make plays.
You want to make a prediction?
Miami by 10.
By the way, I'm so jealous that they publish your prediction on the Inter-Cyberwebs, and I don't get anything.
Somewhere between, I think 10 points is like.
So Miami does not cover in your eyes?
I don't think that we cover, but a touchdown to 10 points feels right for me.
So I'm a little more confident this week.
Okay.
I'm a little more confident, which is odd because normally I'm not confident at all. But I'm going to go Miami 34, NC State 20. Okay.
Well, depending on when you caught that line, it's either right at the cover of 13.5 or right
there.
under.
Yeah, I'm like,
but you're at the line basically.
Yeah, literally right now, the line is at 14.5.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on what book, some have it up as high as 15.5. So
okay.
So we'll see how the total is at 55. So I would just be just under and just under the line as well. So we'll see how that goes. But I don't know. I feel kind of goodish.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that's crazy. I mean, 34 is 6 scores. So 4 touchdowns and 2 field goals in your world. And I mean, I didn't put a number on it, but I think something like that is reasonable. I don't really think that Miami is going to score more than that just because there have been some slow starts and there have been some stalled drives for whatever reason. And again, shout out to Mario Cristobal because there were no operational procedural penalties on offense last week. Congratulations. Correct. Love that. Need that again. But, drop balls and things and running lanes were the things that, curtailed the success. So, I think mid-30s. And I could see NC State, somewhere in the 20s, so like a 34-24-ish.
Okay, so not
like that,
we're in the same ballpark.
Or 34-27, but I think somewhere in that kind of a range feels good to me. So, and I do think that we win. I don't think that, and I mean, I haven't picked against Miami this year, and it's been them performing badly that have proven me wrong. But like, I don't think that NC State has the team to beat us. We have the team to beat ourselves, and hopefully they don't do that again on Senior Day. I think that hopefully, Carson Beck's final home game after 5 years in college, other guys, it'll be very interesting. And I don't know that we're going to get this information before Saturday. I'm asking you live, and I just ideated this, so bear with me. Over under 0.5. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Out of Ruben Bain and Francis Mawinoa, how many participate in Senior Day?
Ooh. Well, Francis, in his media availability, kind of had to catch himself when discussing his last home game, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I would go over, I think.
Okay, over. So one or both?
Well, no, you said 0.5, so...
Yeah, I'm adding on a follow-up.
Well, I mean, that's not fair. You can't add on an extra question.
I sure can. We're right here. Thanks for answering the first one, Coach. So you went over. Is over one or is over both?
It's going to be CC.
I think it's both.
You think it's both? Okay.
I think it's both Ruben and CC Mawinoa participating and walking in whatever the celebration of Senior Day, final, home game, all of that. I think both of them.
Has that, like, a part of my short-term and long-term memory issues? Yeah. Have we done that before? Like, have we have?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Now, the other thing, and I mean, I'm thinking of this live, so shout out to you, listeners and watchers, for joining me on this journey. Are there any other juniors that you think might participate in Senior Day, same as where I'm projecting Bain and Mawinoa doing?
Oh, man. Now I have to go look at who's in the class.
Fair. I mean, technically, you could even get sophomores because of academics, since they're on campus all the darn time and they graduate early.
I mean,
but, okay, I'll leave that one then.
We'll leave that one. Let's tackle that one at a different time.
Okay, fine.
After we already see it happen, and we'll be like, "Hey, Cam was right. There was other juniors." Okay, Cam,
I do think that there is. I do think that there are other juniors. I don't know. We'll see if that has any relevance to them coming back or not, or whatever. But I do think that there are at least a couple other juniors, eligibility juniors, maybe even sophomores, who participate in Senior Day.
I'm surprised they don't just rename it like Senior and Other People plus Mercenary Day.
Leaving the program day.
Yeah,
final home game day. Whatever.
Final home game day. Yeah. All right, we will see you in the press box on Saturday, my friend. I will bring 3 layers of sweatshirts because it is just freezing, and now the weather is actually getting cooler, so that's all I need. So we will do that. We will share a halftime chicken tenders, and since we'll probably get pulled pork again as a pregame meal for the 27th time in a row, and it's come on, we got to do better. Anyways, yeah, hopefully it's a good one. 3:30 kick. I hope to see everyone there. For my friend Cam Underwood, who is the managing editor of the State of the U, go check out StateofTheU.com. I'm Brian the Beast London. We'll see you next time right here on the Real Ones Canes podcast. Peace.